Hi everyone, welcome to the Rugby League History channel. Tonight's video is me round 6 tips for the 2022 Betfred Super League competition. In round 5, I got 4 out of 6 correct. Let me know in the comment section below how many you got. So far this year, my tips have been going alright. This week though, there are a couple of games which could prove to be difficult to tip, so let's start with the first game, which is kicking off on Thursday night. So the first match on the Thursday night sees Wigan up against Castleford. This one's kicking off at 8 o'clock at night. This one's live on Sky Sports if you've got Sky, and it's being played at the DW Stadium, which is Wigan's home ground. Last week, both of these sides lost their matches. Wigan were very, very disappointing against Catalans over there at the Stade Gilbert Brutus. They were held scoreless. I didn't see that coming. As for Castleford, they were also disappointing. They didn't get the win, although I thought that they were better than some of the other weeks that they played in. In the last 10 times that these two sides have played, Wigan has won 7 of them. So in terms of the bragging rights in these games, Wigan have the bragging rights over Castleford. I'm predicting Wigan to bounce back on the Thursday night. I'm going to go for Wigan to win 1-12. I think Castleford will put up a bit of a fight, but I think Wigan will be too good in the end. The first match on the Friday sees Salford up against Leeds. This one's live on Sky Sports, 8 o'clock kickoff, and this is also on BBC 5 Live if you're listening to it on the radio. This one's being played at the AJ Bell Stadium. Salford have been very disappointing in the last 3 weeks. They looked okay at the start of the year, and in the last 3 weeks they've conceded over 100 points in those games. As for Leeds, they haven't had a good start to the year either. I don't think too many people saw Leeds to be where they are. I think people thought that they'd be playing a bit better, but for whatever reason they're not playing well at the moment. Another disappointing loss last week against Hull FC. This is a tough game to pick because this is a flip of the coin. Both sides are out of form. Both sides are not playing well, but I will go for Leeds to win this match by 1-8 points. I think that they'll just get the win over Salford, although I don't think it'll be an easy match for them. I think Salford will put up a bit of a fight, considering that it's at home, it's at the AJ Bell Stadium. Just looking at the two squads though, I think that Leeds is slightly better. They've got a better squad, so I'm going to stick with Leeds. I don't think it'll be easy, but I see him getting the win there on the Friday night over Salford. The second match on the Friday sees Catalans up against Kingston Rovers. This one's kicking off at 8:30 at night over there in France, 7:30 for us in England. This one's being played at the Stade Gilbert Brutus in Perpignan there, but it's not being shown on television and it's not being shown on BBC 5 Live either. Catalans were very impressive last week against Wigan. They held Wigan scoreless in that match, and it goes to show in my other tipping videos I said that Catalans are very strong at home. They only lost the 3 matches there last year, and they proved why that they're very, very tough to beat at home. As for Kingston Rovers, they had a win over Salford. It wasn't a blowout scoreline, but they ended up getting the job done there. I thought that they played a lot better than other weeks previously. However, though, as I just mentioned before, the home form for Catalans is very good. I think that Catalans will win this game 13+. I think they'll be too strong for Kingston Rovers over there in France. They're sat third at the moment. They're looking good, Catalans, so I'm going to go for them to win on the Friday night. The first match on the Saturday kicks off at 12:30, lunchtime kickoff. This one is Warrington up against Wakefield Trinity at the Halliwell Jones Stadium. This one's being shown on Channel 4 if you've got that. Warrington were very disappointing last week against St Helens. They didn't score a try in that game. There was a lot of questions asked after the game about their performance. As for Wakefield Trinity, they got their first win of the year against Toulouse Olympique there at the Bellevue ground, or the Be Well Support Stadium as it's known now. For this game, I think that the way that Warrington played and the response from the fans, and I think the coach would have been quite upset with how they lost that game against St Helens, and I'm predicting them to bounce back against Wakefield Trinity. I don't think it'll be easy because Wakefield Trinity have been a tough side to play against this year, despite only having the one victory to their name so far. So I'm predicting Warrington to win this game 1-12. I think Wakefield Trinity will give them a match. They'll test them, but I just think that Warrington's squad overall is better than Wakefield Trinity's, and I don't see why they can't win. So I'm going to go for Warrington to win on the Saturday. The next game on the Saturday sees Toulouse Olympique up against Helens. It's 6 o'clock kickoff in France, 5 o'clock for us in England. This one's being played at the Stade Ernest Vallon. Toulouse are winless to start the year, although their performances against Wigan and Wakefield have been better than what we've seen in the earlier rounds where they were getting battered. Helens they just keep going on. They don't look like losing a match at all. This match could get really, really ugly for Toulouse Olympique. This could be a cricket score. We could potentially see James Roby raising the bat to salute the 50. And it could end up that way, but I did say that when Wigan played against Toulouse Olympique, and it wasn't the case. But I think Helens should win this match by at least 20 points. I think they'll be too good for Toulouse Olympique, so I'm going to go for Helens to win by at least 20 points. And on Sunday, we only have one match. This one is between Hull FC and Huddersfield, and this one's being played at the MKM Stadium there in Hull. Hull FC had a very good win over Leeds last week, and as for Huddersfield, they're sat second at the moment. Yeah, you read that correctly. Huddersfield is second on the table, can you believe it? I didn't predict that at the start of the year. They're playing quite well. They're up there. They're playing well as a unit. Hull FC, I think this is going to be the year where they're going to cost me a lot of tips. I've tipped them a few times this year and they've let me down, and other weeks when I don't tip them, they win. So I think Hull FC is going to be that team in 2022 that's going to cost me a few tips. They're very hard to tip. They're very hard to get a read on, because one week they're great, the next week that they're shite. So we'll just have to wait and see which Hull FC team turns up on the Sunday. Hull FC could show up and Jake Connor could be the star of the show again, or they could have another game where some of their players don't stand up and Huddersfield get on top of them. For this match, this is quite hard to pick, even though Huddersfield is second on the table. But I'm going to have to go for Huddersfield because they've been a bit more consistent than Hull FC so far this year. So I'll go for Huddersfield to win 1-12. I think it's going to be a good match on the Sunday, and if you're in Hull or you can get there, then go over there and watch the game, because I don't think you'll regret it. Anyways, everyone, that's me round 6 tips for the 2022 Betfred Super League season. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know your score predictions and first try scorers and all that caper. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Rugby League History. Thanks for watching. Tatty bye for now.